Hi everyone, and welcome back to Repurpose Journey. I'm your host Laura, and I'm so glad you're here today. On this podcast, we're going to talk about embracing life's changes, finding purpose in every season, and repurposing our journeys no matter where life takes us. Today I'm sharing more of my journey with Ménière's disease. If you've been diagnosed with a chronic illness or you're navigating the ups and downs of life, this episode is for you. It's about embracing your story, finding resilience, and learning to live fully even in the face of challenges. Let's start with what Ménière's disease is. For those of you who may not be familiar, it's a disorder of the inner ear that can cause episodes of vertigo, tinnitus, hearing loss, and a feeling of fullness in the ear. It leaves you with balance issues, brain fog, and deafness. It can take away your ability to feel at peace because you don't always get a warning of when it's going to happen. It takes away the ability to do many of the things I have loved doing in the past. For me, the symptoms can be completely debilitating to times where I can fight through it with some help. The vertigo episodes may feel like the world was spinning out of control, literally, and they can last for minutes to hours. The off balance that sticks around is so frustrating. Hearing comments like, "Are you drunk?" is frustrating and disheartening when you're struggling with balance issues that you can't even control. But the hardest part is it's invisible. To the outside world, I look fine. It's all in my head, literally, which made explaining my struggles even more challenging. For anyone out there feeling this way, I see you, and I'm here to tell you your pain and your challenges are real, even if they're not visible to others. One of the biggest misconceptions is that it's just about dizziness, but it's so much more. It impacts your mental health, your relationships, and even how you see yourself. Let's start with mental health. Living with Ménière's disease often feels like you're walking on eggshells, constantly worrying about when the next episode is going to strike. That unpredictability can lead to anxiety and even depression. You start to fear doing things you once loved, traveling, socializing, and even running errands, because you don't know if symptoms will suddenly flare up. It can feel isolating, like no one truly understands the constant mental toll of planning your life around something you have no control over. Then there's the impact on relationships. It's not just you who experiences the struggle. Your family and your friends do too. They might not understand why you're canceling plans last minute, or why you can't do the things you used to do together. You might feel like a burden, or even guilty for needing extra support. It takes open communication and a lot of grace, both for yourself and for the people around you, to navigate those challenges. And let's not forget how it affects how you see yourself. Ménière's can take away things that make you feel like you. Maybe you were a runner, a singer, or someone who thrived in a fast-paced job, but now those parts of your life feel out of reach. It's hard not to feel like you have lost a piece of your identity. For me, it made me feel like I was less capable, less dependable. I had to work through a lot of negative self-talk to remind myself that my worth isn't tied to what I can do on any given day. The invisible nature of this illness adds another layer. To the outside world, you might look fine, which can make you feel invalidated. People might say things like, "You look great, you must be feeling better," when inside you're battling vertigo, exhaustion, dizziness, off balance, migraines, brain fog, you name it. Those comments, though well-meaning, can sting because they minimize what you're going through. Ménière's disease isn't just about managing physical symptoms. It's about finding ways to protect your mental and emotional well-being, maintaining your relationships, and redefining your sense of self. That's why it's so important to educate others about the full scope of the condition, and not just for awareness, but to foster compassion and understanding. Whether I like it or not, Ménière's disease, chronic pain, migraines have all shaped my life. Living with Ménière's disease has taught me so much about myself. It forced me to slow way down, something I never thought I'd have to do. I've had to learn how to let go of my perfectionism, set boundaries I didn't necessarily want to, and ask for help when before I could do it all, or at least most of it. It also pushed me to reevaluate what's truly important. Ménière's became the catalyst for me to repurpose my life, between traveling in an RV, moving to different places, and just seeing what other options were out there. It's what's inspired me to even start this podcast and share my story, and to create a space where others could feel seen and supported in their own journeys. Chronic illness forces you to adapt, but adapting doesn't mean giving up. It means finding new ways to thrive and pursue your dreams. I don't have it all figured out yet, but I refuse to give up. So how can we embrace our journeys? Let me share a few things that have helped me. Acceptance. It doesn't mean you like or agree with what's happening. It means acknowledging the reality of your situation so you can start figuring out how to move forward. Acceptance took a long time for me. Small wins, celebrating those. Maybe it's a day without vertigo or finding a diet that reduces symptoms. These moments matter. Celebrate them. Support systems. Surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. Family, friends, or an online community. Having people who understand makes all the difference. Finding purpose. When I shifted my focus from why is this happening to me to how can I use this to grow, everything started to change. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be found in helping someone else or creating something meaningful. Faith and resilience. My faith has been my anchor. I've learned to lean on God for strength and to trust that even in the chaos, there's a plan for my life. And even when things just really suck, I can find moments of joy. And I can always find something to be thankful for. If you're living with Ménière's disease or any chronic condition, know this: you're not alone. Your journey is unique, but there are people who understand and want to support you. Embracing your journey means giving yourself grace, adapting to change, and finding joy in the small, beautiful moments of life. A chronic condition may be a chapter in your life, but it's not the entire book. While it may shape parts of your journey, it doesn't have to limit who you are or what you can become. You are more than your diagnosis. Your dreams, your passions, your relationships, and your purpose are still in motion. And they can flourish despite the obstacles. Life is filled with seasons of growth. It's filled with setbacks and it's filled with breakthroughs. Embrace each moment, knowing that your story is still unfolding and that you have the strength to create the life you desire, regardless of the challenges you face. Before we wrap up, we'd love for you to connect on social media at Repurpose Journey or visit www.repurposejourney.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Repurpose Journey. Remember, no matter your circumstances, you have the strength to repurpose your life and make it beautiful. Until next time, take care and keep embracing your journey.